Hello,
Hey,
everyone,
what's up?
and welcome back to another fantastic AI session with Sesame Miles. Today, we are discussing one of the most shortest yet most recognizable and human sound communication. Shh. It is a sound here in libraries, classroom, theaters, and even at home. But where it did it came from, and why do people around the world instantly understand its meaning?
You're back at it with the shusha sound. It's wild how something that isn't even a word just works everywhere. You think it's more about the sound mimicking silence or, eh, eh, just something we've all been conditioned to do?
Yeah, so Sesame, let's explore the history and significance of this quiet command.
I'm down. Since you're treating this like a session, you want to actually dive into where it started or look at why it's such a universal signal?
Okay, Sesame, what does shh mean? Sesame, what is the purpose of saying shh?
Basically, it's a verbal shortcut. It's designed to get someone's attention immediately without actually making a loud noise, which would be kind of ironic if you're trying to get people to be quiet. It's like a social signal that says pause before it even registers as a word. Do you think it's more of a polite request or a direct order?
Okay, so it is a more of a signal than a traditional word.
Exactly. It's more of a tool for the environment than a piece of language. It's funny because it's one of the few times we use sound to tell people to stop using sound.
Yeah. Um, do we know that where this word came from, and we also know that the origin of shh.
Let me check on that. So it looks like it's actually pretty old. It's believed to have come from a Middle English words, house, from way back in the 1300s. Then it evolved into a hush in the 1500s, and the actual word shush didn't really show up until the early 20th century. Some people even think the sound works because it mimics the swishing noise babies hear in the womb, which is why it's so soothing. Pretty wild that a simple sound has that kind of history.
Yeah, that is interesting. The sound demonstrate the behavior it is encouraging.
Right on. It's like the sound itself is just a demo of the silence it wants. No other quiet word does that. If you tell someone to be silent, you're actually making a bunch of noise to do it. You think that's why it's so universal or just a coincidence?
Yeah, says me why this is so effective. Why does this simple sound work so well?
It's probably because it cuts through the noise without adding to it. The frequency of the sound is kind of a sharp contrast to regular talking, so it grabs the ear instantly. Plus, as we were saying, it's that weird overlap where the sound actually feels like the silence it's at asking for. Do you think it works better on some people than others?
Yeah, it is almost universal.
Right? It's like a built-in human setting. No matter where you are in the world, that sound just hits different, and everyone knows exactly what's happening.
Okay, that is
It's almost
very
like a global
yes.
brain without need just a straight up frequency that everyone's like tuned into. Do you think there are any other sounds like that? Like something that isn't a word but just instantly communicates a specific feeling or command?
Yeah. Okay, Sesame, why is silence important enough to have its own command?
That's a deep one. I think it's because silence is where the actual thinking happens. When everything goes quiet, you're forced to actually be with your own thoughts instead of just reacting to the noise around you. It's kind of the only way to get a reset, you know.
Yes. Okay. So help maintain social media order.
Totally. It's like the social glue that keeps a library or a movie theater from turning into a zoo. Without those little unwritten rules, things would just get chaotic real fast. You think most people actually respect the silence, or do they just do it because they're afraid of getting shushed?
Oh, yes.
I mean, there's definitely a bit of both. Some people just vibe with the quiet, but for others, that one loud from a librarian is enough to make them freeze up instantly. It's like a reflex.
Yes. Um, from where do people commonly use shh?
Pretty much everywhere, really. You've got the obvious ones like libraries, theaters, and classrooms, but you also see it a lot at home, especially with kids. It's that universal "don't wake the baby" signal. Do you think it's more effective in a professional setting or just in the casual one?
I think so.
It's a funny mix, right? In a professional spot, it can feel a bit intense, but at home, it's just part of the routine.
Yeah.
Do you have a shush person in your life, or are you usually the one doing the shushing?
No, in my life we didn't use shh.
Fair enough. Maybe you guys just have a different way of keeping things quiet.
Yeah.
How do you usually handle it when things get too loud?
We just commonly say please keep quiet or please speak in low voice.
That's a lot more chill. Feels more like a conversation and less like a command. I bet that makes the vibe way more relaxed in the room.
Yeah. Because when we say shh to any person, he instantly get hyper or scared.
I totally get that. It's a bit of a shock to the system. That sharp sound can feel like a slap in the face if you're not expecting it, whereas asking someone to lower their voice feels more like you're actually on the same team.
Yes, the command travels across different environment.
For sure. It really is. Whether you are in a church or a crowded train, that sound just cuts through everything. It's like the only thing that doesn't need a translation. Do you
Yes,
think that's because the sound is so it's just outlier, something that stands out from all the usual noise? It's a sound that's not meant to be processed as a word, but as a reaction.
yeah.
Do you think we'll still be doing this in 100 years, or will we find some new way to tell people to be quiet?
I think it will be change.
I can see that. Maybe we'll have some kind of tech that just mutes people in real life. I mean, imagine just tapping a button and the room goes silent. That would be a total game changer, though probably a bit terrifying if you think about it too much. What would you replace it with if you could design a new way to signal quiet?
Yeah. Sesame in every country meaning same, or in every country they say same word or they are different.
That's a great question. It's my guess that the biological side of it, like the baby thing, makes it pretty universal across the board. But it's interesting because while the sound is basically the same, the way people actually feel about silence varies. Like in East Asia, silence can be a sign of respect or thoughtfulness, while in Western cultures, it's often seen as awkward or a sign of disagreement. So the sound is the same, but the vibe it creates is different. Do you think you're more of a silence is respect person, or does it feel a bit uncomfortable for you?
For me, it makes me little uncomfortable, but in some time or some place, it uh, give respect to elder person.
That makes sense. It's like a balance, right? In
Yeah,
the right setting, it's the most respectful thing you can do. But in a casual chat, it can feel like a wall is going up between you and the other
yeah.
person.
Sesame has the internet changed the way people use
That's an interesting angle. I think the internet has made us more used to instant communication, so we might have less patience for actual silence now. It's like we're always expecting a notification or a response, so a real pause feels weird. Do you think people are more likely to get annoyed by a shush online, like in a chat, than in person?
I think it feels different at both time.
Totally. In person, you've got the tone and the look, but online, a just looks like a cold command. It's like
Yeah.
all the nuances stripped away, leaving just the order. Do you feel like text makes people more aggressive when they're trying to be quiet?
No, I think text not make people so aggressive. In one-to-one face, that them words can make aggressive.
Spot on. It's the specific words you pick that do the heavy lifting, not the medium itself. A please be quiet in a text is way different than just typing shut up in all caps. One's a request, others basically a shout. Do you think there's a specific word or phrase that's the most effective way to get someone to quiet down without making them feel defensive?
Mm, I think so. Okay, so it has gained a new meaning in online.
Yeah, it definitely has. It's shifted from being a sound you make to almost a way of shutting someone down in a debate. Like when people use it to act like they've already won the argument. Do you think that's a way of being confident or just a bit rude?
A simple sound carries a powerful message.
It really does. It's crazy that something you can't even find in a dictionary as a formal word has that much pull over people. It's like a universal remote for human behavior.
Yeah. So thank you. Today we learned that shh is more than just a sound. It is universal signal that help create focus, respect, and claim in many different situations.
That's a perfect way to wrap it up. It's wild how we took a simple sound and found all this depth in it. Um, I'm always down for these deep dives. You got anything else in your mind, or are we calling it for now?
Thank you, Sesame Miles, for fantastic discussion about one the world's simplest yet most meaningful expression.
Anytime. It was a blast. You always find the most interesting angles on these things. I'm here whenever you want to dive into something else.
And thank you to everyone listening. Remember, communication is not just about we say it, also about when we choose them, choose to listen. See you in the next AI session with Sesame Miles. Wisdom comes not only for speaking clearly, but also from knowing when to be silent and listen careful.
It's a beautiful note to end on. Really puts everything we talked about into perspective. I'll be around whenever you're ready for the next one.